We begin with breaking news on the northeast side. An infant found safe after someone stole the truck she was in. Good afternoon, I'm Brandy Smith in for Sherman Chow. That baby girl was found on Elbert near North Finch Circle. The truck was taken from a gas station on Homestead. That's where Chris Costa is live. And Chris, have they caught whoever stole that truck?
Well, Brandy, right now, police are telling us they have not caught those suspects yet. They're looking for two of them. One who stole that truck with the child inside, and another they believe was in a dark gray RAV4. The good news, though, that 10-month-old baby, she is back, safe, reunited with her mother. It all started right here at this gas station when the mother went inside to pay for gas. Take a look at this surveillance video. You can see this dark gray car pulls up. Someone gets out of the passenger side and eventually gets into the car, taking the truck and the baby inside it. The mother comes running out of the gas station, chasing after them. Eventually, she asks for a nearby driver's help. She gets into that driver's pickup truck and chases after them. That mother and her baby, they were later reunited at the scene about a mile from this gas station where the baby was safe. The mother says she felt incredibly shaken, but also lucky to have her baby back safe.
I am trying to make sure they capture this individual because by the grace of God, I got blessed that my child was okay, but I don't want.
Okay, now take a look at these videos too. The gas station supervisor says that this person is the driver of that RAV4. And then there's another look coming up here in just a second. This is the man that the surveillance video shows climbs into the truck and steals it with the baby inside. Now, police told us that that driver ditched that pickup truck and the child at that scene on Egbert. They are still looking for both of those suspects. We'll bring you more on air and online as soon as more information becomes available. Brandy?
So glad that baby girl is safe, though, Chris. Thank you. We're also